I think in football, there is something that we call fair play. I want to talk about here is Son's injuries. I mean, like, it was mysterious. No one was close to him. No one was tackling him. No one was contesting the ball with him. He shot the ball and then he fell down. Everyone thought it was maybe like a cramp. He won the most valuable player of the tournament. He won the highest goal scorer. He was, do you think naturalized players playing for the national team is a disadvantage, or you think is an advantage? What do you think? This might be a little controversial, but I noticed one thing, especially when the pressure is too high, a lot of Vietnamese players tend to be emotional. You should be passionate, but not emotional. Okay, listen. Football, as it's known all over the world, or soccer, as it's called in the States, was at its premium best last night here in Vietnam, as the two giants of ASEAN football, Vietnam and Thailand, battled for the right to be called top dogs in ASEAN football. There were a couple of points that I picked up that I'm gonna share with you guys today, and what I think about last night's game. Let's go. Alright, for those of you who are not in Vietnam, I have to tell you something. Vietnamese people are so passionate about their football. You're gonna be amazed at what goes on here. The win was obviously very well deserved. I think considering all the things and the game, the balance of play, and they had numerous chances to win this game from the first leg, but they missed the chances, and that was why it was a bit difficult trying to scrape out this win in Rajamangala Stadium in Thailand. It was crazy last night. I am all in whenever there's anything to celebrate in Vietnam, and especially we call it the bao. Which means it's like storming the streets whenever the football team performs incredibly well. So last night was not an exception. Millions of people, they stormed the streets, and it was a chaotic situation, and I'm loving every bit of it. So I joined my anime to celebrate the monumental achievement of Vietnamese national teams. Whenever you are in Vietnam, please join us to the bao whenever we win, because it doesn't come that very often. It was a fun night last night. Considering that Vietnam had not defeated Thailand in 27 years. Yes, Vietnam had not defeated Thailand in Vietnam for 27 years. So Thailand was coming into the first leg of this game full of confidence. Over the last few years, Vietnamese football has been up and down, up and down, up and down. It hasn't been stable. So this win was very, very important. It came at a very crucial time for Vietnamese football to consolidate on the success of this win and build, to build on this success. Next, this might be a little controversial, but over the years of watching the Vietnamese national team players, and I'm playing with some Vietnamese friends here as well, I noticed one thing, especially when the pressure is too high. A lot of Vietnamese players tend to be emotional. Professional players, when the pressure is high, that's why they are professional. That's why you have these coaches that are cold as ice. When the fans are egging you to shoot or to move this or to do that, you should be professional and know what is the right thing to do and not let your emotions override your professionalism. You should know when to calm the ball down, when to pass, and not when to rush, not when to make some unnecessary tackles. You should be passionate but not emotional. Keep your head in the game. Don't not let your emotion get in the way of your success. The next thing I have here is, this might be crazy, but listen, let's talk about this, okay? I've had this argument with a lot of people. I have to say that majority of the friends that are even foreigners and Vietnamese alike were unanimous in saying that that was very bad sportsmanship from the Thai team, because if you look at what happened before this goal, the equalizing goal, the ball was out and it was thrown out by a Vietnamese player. So common sense, and according to the law, you should return back the ball to the players that kicked it out. It's called fair play for the game to restart. So I was surprised because just as the players were, they threw the ball into the field and it was supposed to be given back to the Vietnamese players, but boom, that was their equalizing goal and they celebrated. What a shame. I think for football, there is something that we call fair play. So you should give the ball back to them. I want to talk about here is Son's injury. Xuan Son, he won the most valuable player of the tournament. He won the highest goal scorer. He was generally seen as the face of the Vietnamese national team. And he was by far the best player. If you have watched this game from the beginning to this final, he was immense. Everything he did was class. So his injury was it was mysterious. No one was close to him. No one was tackling him. No one was contesting the ball with him. He shot the ball and then he fell down. Everyone thought it was maybe like a cramp. But as we got to find out now, he broke his leg. I don't know what it's called in medical terms, vestibular, whatever. I don't know. I'm not a medical doctor. So he broke his, and I've seen this injury on a soccer field before. I've seen it a few times, and it is nasty. It was a ghastly injury, and I hope the best for him, but most players, as an Arsenal fan, I've seen two of my players had this injury some years back. First was Eduardo and the second was Ramsey. They never came back to be the player they once were after the injury. So it was a horrific injury. It was crazy. He's been the best player of the tournament, and then to have this happen to him on the final game, that was hard luck. So I, along with 100 million Vietnamese and millions of other foreigners that are living here who love Vietnam and wish the best for Vietnam, wish you quick recovery, son. And I pray that you come back to the form and you continue to perform at your premium best and at your premium level. So this is to son Rafael Fernandez. I hope you come back stronger. Cố lên em ơi. The next one I want to talk is also in relation to Son. I'm gonna pose this as a question because I've seen a lot of controversial comments and analysis on Vietnamese football of recent about naturalized players playing for the national team. It has been a big controversial conversation. It's ongoing. A lot of people love it. A lot of people don't want it because they want native Vietnamese, like Vietnamese people, only playing for the Vietnamese national team and not the naturalized players. I have a lot to say on this topic, but I'm gonna reserve my comments. I wanna see what do you guys think, both foreigners and Vietnamese alike. Let me know what you think on this on the comment section. Do you think naturalized players playing for the national team is a disadvantage, or you think is an advantage? What do you think? And I'm gonna make another video in regards to this to explain what I think about this and how this is gonna impact the Vietnamese players or the Vietnamese national team. Okay, for now I'm gonna leave that at that. And then in conclusion, I think this was a nerve-wracking few minutes last night for the Vietnamese people, because I was going around watching the roller coaster of emotion from the people, and at the end of the day, everyone was celebrating. I was being called Xuan Son. Everyone was hugging me, and you know, I always enjoyed that. But the new nickname that I've started getting recently is Xuan Son. I don't know, but Colin Xuan Son, I wish you the best, and hopefully you can come back and make the national team stronger as you did during this time. So các bạn ơi, chúc mừng Việt Nam, chúc mừng đội tuyển quốc gia Việt Nam, và cầu mong Xuan Son sẽ sớm trở lại. Việt Nam vô địch.